Okay, the timer is on. Hello, everyone. Your girl Tay here from Let's Talk Wild, bringing you a bird celebration today. And my guest here with me today is Bree.
Hello.
I wish I had some bird sounds because the birds would be chirping right now for Bree. Okay, period. We are here to celebrate Migratory Bird Day. We love birds, so this is our thing, right, Bree?
Yep, this is the best day of the year, honestly.
Okay, period. We're gonna get Bree's backstory on her love for birds. We're gonna talk about protecting insects and protecting birds, why they are both important to the ecosystems and the world. We're gonna do some fun a bird quiz and give our personal bird loving stories. Okay, but before we get into that, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Y'all already know, turn on post notifications so you guys can be notified when I go live. And also share this live. Okay. Now let's talk. Wow, y'all already know. Yes, Bree. I nailed it. Usually I be tongue tied, but I got it. I got it. All
Thank
right. All right.
you. I'm so proud.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so let's get into Bree. Your background with birds and all of that good stuff.
Yeah. So, like Tay said, my name is Bree. I am the coastal avian biologist for Audubon Mid Atlantic. So, that's just very fancy talk that says that I study coastal bird species. So, birds that hang around on the shorelines for right on the oceans, particularly in Maryland, in the Delmarva Peninsula. Uh,
Okay.
So right now my work is really focused on a project called Marshes for Tomorrow, which I have to, plug in there. It's a huge, very innovative project where we're trying to save approximately 25,000 acres of salt marsh in the Delmarva Peninsula for specifically the salt marsh sparrow, which is a potentially going to be endangered, listed as an endangered species of
Um,
sparrow in the United States. It's kind of going through that process right now, but right now it's a
mm,
threatened species. But it's a good bird to use as like an umbrella species because you save the salt marsh sparrow, you're saving so many other birds.
right.
So my main big project is on that right now. Before I started with Audubon, because I only started almost a year ago now, I was a graduate student at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, where I was doing my master's work,
Yeah.
studying how birds use what are called cover crops, which is just crops that you plant on
Mm.
fields between like corn season and stuff like
Yeah. Oh,
that.
I know a bunch about
Ooh,
that cover
yeah,
crop gardening, right? Yeah.
we love it. So, and before that, I got my bachelor's from the University of Florida in wildlife ecology and conservation. I was doing a lot of bird work during undergrad and then after undergrad. I traveled all across the states. I worked in California, I worked in Massachusetts, worked in the Everglades in Florida. I've just kind of been all around doing bird work, and birds just follow me wherever
Flying like
they
a
go.
bird.
I fly like a bird,
You're
exactly.
migrating
So,
like a bird, honey. I'm
exactly.
like a bird. I wanna fly away.
Yes. But yeah, I've always loved birds. I grew up in a bird loving home. My grandfather, my abuelo, loved birds. He always shared his love for birds and animals with me, and it kind of felt right. I started off as a pre-veterinary student, as most kids do who are in
Yeah.
the field. We all kind of say, oh yeah, we want to work with animals, and the only thing we can do is like be a vet, but like that's not the
Right.
truth. And we kind of learned from that, and I kind of learned from
Mhm.
there that yeah, veterinary is cool and all, but I do love research, and I love doing like the
Same.
actual ecological portion of it all. So
Mhm.
when I learned that wildlife conservation was a very valid field to be in, I immediately jumped in and haven't left. And here I am now working at what is basically my dream job. So
Yes. So proud of you, Bree. Shout out to Bree and her birds, honey, period, and all the
yes.
work that you've done all through these years and just traveling and putting in the work in, honey, because I'm an animal journalist. Okay. So I ain't out there, but I'm
Mhm.
here. Okay.
Mhm.
To still spread the news. Bree is out there doing the groundwork, and I'm here doing the work on the internet, keeping you guys informed, honey. My love for birds, I always love birds. they just was so peaceful. And like growing up in the neighborhood, in the inner city, in the hood, honey, the birds was like my peaceful place, honey. Like
Mhm.
it's just a lot of stuff that be going on, and it's just like gunshots, this, that, racket, all of this stuff is going on. But when I would hear the birds, I knew that the day would be like, well, for the most part, that part of the day is just chill. Like
Yeah.
nothing's going on. Like you can relax. Like
Just listen to the birds and relax. Yeah.
yeah, so listen to the birds and relax. And I remember, like, I'm a library girl, like a book girl, love the library, support y'all local libraries and all of
Mhm.
that good stuff. Get your library card and return your books on time.
Please.
Please. But yeah, I found a bird book in a box. Like somebody had a box of books and I was going through the box and I found a bird book, and then I just started looking out my window, identifying the birds. Maryland, I'm from Baltimore, like we have a lot of parks. So I
Mhm.
would like identify our birds, our blue herons and all those birds, honey, when I was out. So I don't know. I just love birds. They're peaceful. And another thing, they always was like hope. Like growing up in the hood, you don't want to be living in the hood. You want to fly away. You want to go somewhere else. So they were always hope. Like one of these days, I'll be able to spread my wings like a bird. But shout out to my mama because she got us out the hood. Okay.
Oh
Period.
yeah.
Shout out to the moms out
Shout
there.
out to moms. Yeah, because
Yes.
Mother's Day's tomorrow too. So
Yes.
it
So we
fits.
celebrating moms and birds.
Birds.
Okay. So, yes. Now, let's get into Migratory Bird Day 2024. Protect insects and protect birds. Okay. So, I got some slides here that I want to, let's see. Yes, here we
Mhm.
go. But I got my own notes. So, I might not be actually reading from this. And I do get tongue tied a lot. And the Baltimore accent be trying to sabotage me, but I've been getting better.
You're good.
Oh, okay. So, and Bree, if you have anything to say, your girl, just jump right in, honey. If you got
Yeah,
anything to add and stuff, just jump right in.
of
So,
course.
we celebrate a Migratory Bird Day. Well, in 1993, the Smithsonian Migratory Bird Center created International Migratory Bird Day. Since 2007, IMBD, that's the shortened version of it, has been coordinated by the international hold on wait the Environment of Americas, EFTA, a nonprofit organization that strives to connect people to bird conservation. In 2018, EFTA joined the convention on migratory species, CMS, and the agreement on the conservation of African Eurasian
Mhm.
migratory water birds to create a single global bird conservation education campaign, which we have World Migratory Bird Day. So shout out to all of them for coming together and
Yes.
saying we are going to celebrate birds. Okay. Now, why do we celebrate? Okay, conservation. That's what Bree's working on: conservation, education, diversity, and protection. Okay. We got to protect the species, we got to protect our ecosystems. Okay. Diversity, changing the faces of bird conservation to include
Mhm.
diverse groups wherever we work, because birds are not just in the marshes, they're in the cities, they're in the
Mhm.
forests, they're just everywhere.
Exactly.
I love that diversity, making sure everybody has, equal opportunity, bird loving and bird conservation here. Education is always important, spreading awareness. Okay. So we love that. Next up, what do we have here? The focal bird species. Have you experienced any of these birds, Bree?
Yeah, the only ones I haven't seen are, I think it's just the Nakunda Nighthawk. I think I've seen
Mm,
all the other ones. Um, in my research for my graduate, we had bobolinks everywhere for our fields. They love crop fields. So, and they're
oh,
such a cool
word.
bird. They have like this beautiful black face, and then the back of their head is just this bright yellow, and they're just super gorgeous. And then American kestrels are probably one of my favorite birds. I would say they're like in the top
Oh.
5 favorite birds. They're so cute. They're really cool birds. People always like say that they hate driving through like farmland and stuff like that. And like, I kind of get it, but you drive through those like rural areas and you see on the power lines, you'll see so many American kestrels, and watching them like dive
Yes.
down, grab a grasshopper or like a small, like a vole or something like that. It's so
Yes.
cool. They're such cool birds.
Yes. I know that's right. I really love ducks because
Yes.
when I found that book, when I found that bird book, it was ducks on the cover.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, I love ducks.
Yeah.
And my baby girl, she loves ducks too. So it's like, I don't know, I have a special connection with ducks. So I
Yeah.
love the
Ducks are
wood ducks.
great.
Yes. The hummingbirds, love them. The sandpiper, I've seen a couple of videos of them. I really like them.
Yeah, they're fun.
And we got some the insects here. We got the cicadas, the vivid dancer, the bobolinks, and wait, no, the willow sawfly. Scavenger beetles, the burrowing mayfly, and the buzzer midge, and the red-legged grasshopper. Yeah. So where can uh birds can be found? Where can they be found? Urban areas, of course, forests. We got the shorelines, the wetlands. Okay, hold up. Let me remove some of this stuff because I got some more slides that I need to add up. The grasslands in the skies. Y'all
Yep.
already know. Uh the field farms. Okay. Y'all know they everywhere. Child, penguins are birds as well. They found on cold parts of the planet, so the birds
Yep.
is where they need to be. Okay, they done
They're
adapted.
everywhere. They're everywhere.
Okay, what do they eat? Now, bird eats butterflies, dragonflies, ants, bees, flies, moths, and grasshoppers. Okay, they can eat more than that. Okay, what else do we do? We have okay. You're gonna have to pronounce this word for me. I've been saying it wrong all freaking day.
Insectivorous. It's a long one. It's a word. Insectivorous.
I was over here like insectivores.
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta, add the little zhuzh to it, and you're good.
Look, I looked it up and I was like, say it again, Google. And she just kept saying it. And I was like, girl, I'm gonna have to get Bree to say this. I was like, please, like, I'm gonna have to get Bree to say this because it be stressing me out. Yeah. So yeah. Say it again, Bree, for me. Say that whole. Actually, read that whole thing for me, Bree.
You know what? Insectivorous birds are declining. This is one. Actually, this paper that this is specifically from is like a huge paper that came out, I think, back in 2017. It was either 2017, 2018-ish. And it's kind of the basis of a lot of work now that we know that there's been like about 30% of birds since the 1970s have been in decline. So that's about like 3 billion birds. And so people don't get that. They're like, what do you mean? So like, but there's so many birds. But when you think about it, it's like 3 billion birds. And then, the birds are breeding and they're not breeding enough to kind of replace that 3 billion that's been lost. So we're just constantly in this decline. And the largest amount, because they divided the birds into these categories like migratory birds, insectivorous birds, all kinds of them. And migratory birds, grassland birds, and insectivorous birds were in the top species that were in decline specifically. And it makes sense because, if the insects are dying, that's a food source. Then the birds can't have their food. So not only do we have to worry about like things like habitat loss, we really have to think about the actual like food chain here and how that is impacting species and how that's impacting populations.
Yes, and we gonna get into all of that. Look, Rita already, broke it down. Okay. Okay. Threats to insects and birds. Habitat degradation. Did I say that right?
Yeah, degradation. Yeah.
Invasive species, which I talk a lot about over here on the channel. pesticides, agriculture, climate change, and urbanization. Yeah, so make sure y'all not putting down the pesticides and all of
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah, that's when people ask like, "Oh, what can I do?" I'm just like, make sure like if you have to use some sort of like repellent or something like on your garden, try to get something that's natural, something that's bird safe because you spray a pesticide on your plants and the bugs eat it and then the birds eat those bugs. All of that just kind of chains up and that's what's killing a lot of birds unfortunately.
yeah, and it sucks. So,
Mhm.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Simple ways to protect insects to protect birds. Okay. We got leave the leaves. Y'all
Yeah.
already know. Leave them down. Okay. Leaves provide important cover and shelter for insects, birds. Birds forage in the leaf litter, to find their food and stuff. So, yeah, I not usually, I do leave my leaves. Like once it gets really, really, really warm, then I pull up the leaves. But then
Mhm.
I'm not disposing of my leaves, just like throwing them in the trash and stuff. I actually take my leaves and I use them in my garden. I use them, I put them in compost. You might, shred them down and use them as mulch. So I love it. I love my leaves, honey, and
Yeah.
all the bugs and the birds love it because I do be seeing the robins out there. I see the
And they're
catbirds
kicking
out
those
there.
leaves.
Yes, they be. I,
Just
I
going through
be
it. It's
thinking,
really cute. I love it.
yes, I'm thinking it's a squirrel. No, it's the
It's
robin
a
down
robin.
there, down there doing what they do. Okay. Plant native. Native insects do better with native plants. This Nevada bumblebee is foraging on a Rocky Mountain bee plant or bee weed, one of the native plants observed by Lewis and Clark. All types of bees and other insects are attracted to this plant. Yes. I'm doing some native plants here. I just threw a bunch of seeds out. Like I do like my chaos wildflower. Like I just take a bunch of seeds and just throw them
And
out
toss them out.
and just let them do what they do. And
Yeah.
I just water them and they just grow. And they even grow amongst the weeds. I don't even have to weed because they'll just grow. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like I like to
That's
try to keep
awesome.
it. Yeah, I try to keep it like natural as possible.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there's always resources online to like figure out like what is natural in your area and what's native to your area. So
Yes, make sure y'all look it up. Do not plant an invasive
please.
species. Reduce chemical use. Natural lawn, a manicure lawn. Honey, I do not. No, I want the craziness. I want the
I love it.
craziness. I want all the leaves. I want all of that. Okay. Dim your lights for insects. Insects use light levels of insects use light levels as cues to navigate to forage, and during courtship artificial light at night can cause them to be trapped near sources where they circle repeatedly. So y'all know when they fly up to that light and be like,
They're going crazy.
yeah, we don't want them over there, okay? I mean, unless the bats got to come down and handle them, but it ain't about the bats today, it's about the birds.
About birds.
So, we don't want to, you know, get these insects out of here. Just have them circling and dizzy and passing out honey, and the birds can't feed on them. The birds need all the insects that they can get at this point, okay?
Mhm.
Teach, change perceptions about insects. Yes, because I know a lot of people out there are like, we are scared of insects. Like
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the insects are more scared of you.
Yeah. I used to be afraid of bugs. And then for my wildlife degree, I was required to take an entomology course and we had to like
Mhm.
pin bugs and everything in it. And that quickly taught me, like, oh, no, bugs are like really cool. They're really cool, really fun. And yeah, they're more scared of you than you are of them.
Yeah,
So,
so yes, and y'all are so scared of these insects, leave them to the birds. That's why you
mhm.
gotta protect the insects to protect
Yep,
the birds, protect the birds.
exactly.
It goes hand in hands, okay? Hold up, what else? What other page do I have here? I think we gotta thank the artist. Yes, we have thank the artist here, Anna Rose. Shout out to Anna Rose for her great artwork she's done for this campaign. You know, we want to show her some love. Make sure y'all go follow her. Check her out, AnnaRosePaints.com and all of that. Yes, beautiful artwork, girl. We appreciate
Mhm.
it. Okay, so that was the first half of World Migratory Bird Day over here at the Let's Talk Wild YouTube channel with Tay and
Free.
yes, I'm like, which way am I supposed to say? Yes, yes. So, do what should we do next? Should we do the quiz next?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let me share the screen. Hold on. I can't pronounce this website either. I hate.
Using quizzes. Interesting.
Hold on. It's the I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, child. I'm like, I don't know, but shout out to them. It's
Oh,
BRITANNICA.
Britannica.
Thank you.
There we go.
I used to say it right back in the day, but I'm like, I'm not even going to try to butcher it right now. Hold up, let me make sure everything's lined up. Let me close out of this. Okay, you ready, Bree?
Yeah, let's see. I'm very curious to see what this is.
So it's just a regular bird quiz, but let me guess. Let me give the rules and all of that stuff. So no, we're not doing no timer. Okay, so it's a regular bird quiz, right? However, I remixed it. So once we answer, like once no, you answer the question, Bree. I'm gonna say, does this bird migrate or not? And you have to tell me
Okay.
yes or
That's good. Okay.
no.
This I will preface that sometimes I forget which species are migratory or not. So
It's okay. It's okay. So shout out to Britannica, their bird quiz that I just remixed. You guys can use it if you want. You can remix it and make a migratory bird one, okay? Yes. So we got 14 questions. We ain't doing a timer. Okay. So which several varieties weighing less than a coin, what bird is the smallest in the world?
it's the hummingbird, and I have a tattoo of the smallest bird in the world, and it is the bee hummingbird.
Ah, hold up, wait, Bree, hold up. Let's see.
So it's right there. That's the bee hummingbird. My tattoo is actually bigger than what the bird in real life is. They're like half this size. They're like that big.
Oh my
They're super tiny.
gosh.
They're endemic to Cuba, which is where my mom's family is from and where my abuelo was from. And he used to tell stories about how he always would see the bee hummingbird and stuff like that. Him and my abuela would like talk about it. Yeah.
That
So
is
I got
so dope.
yeah. They're it's my favorite bird. I want to see that bird so bad. So bad.
Oh my goodness. That I'm this is just divine timing, honey. The way that was the first question
I know.
and she got the tattoo. Come on.
I had to.
We where are we supposed to be right
And
now?
they do migrate, I will say.
Yeah, okay,
Hummingbirds
okay.
migrate.
All right, let's get back onto this. Hold up. Okay, so they do migrate. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so the bee hummingbird of Cuba weighs less than a dime and often is mistaken for its namesake insect. So,
Mhm.
yeah, so we got 400 points on a scoreboard. Okay, the American white variety of what bird can hold 3 gallons of water in its bill?
It is the American white pelican. They are also migratory. They're really
Yeah.
cool to see. Um,
I love pelicans.
I do too. I think they're
It's
really cool.
the birds on the water just do something for me.
Mhm. I
Just
agree. I agree.
yes, they are like I saw a picture of a pelican with the bird in its mouth and it was
Oh
like
my god,
shining
yes.
shining a light through and you could see like the veins
Yeah,
in it's oh my god, it was crazy.
they're crazy.
Yeah, they are. So they usually don't store food in their bills while hunting for fish. They dump the water and quickly swallow their prey. Their bills have a larger capacity than their bellies. Wow, didn't
Yeah.
know that. I didn't know it was bigger than their stomachs, child.
Yep.
Okay, which flightless bird has been known to off a human?
It's the cassowary, and they don't migrate. Um, but
Right.
I will say that the cassowary has only killed humans because humans have fed cassowaries, and it's like a really big deal. Where people like in Australia, you will like see them, and people will like offer them food, and then cassowaries get like super used to people, and they're like, oh yeah, if I go
Hmm.
to this spot, I'm going to find humans and they're going to give me food. And if they don't give me food, I'm going to kick them and kill them. So I will say like they have killed humans, but it's kind of our fault. So please don't feed wild animals.
Right. Do
Especially
not feed the
cassowaries if you're
wildlife.
yeah. If you ever go to Australia, do not feed the cassowaries. They are very cool to see. I've been very lucky to see them myself in the wild, and they're majestic and beautiful, but keep them far away. Just watch them from afar.
Not the cassowaries throwing tantrums, honey.
Yeah.
Y'all not
They're
gonna
like,
feed
you're not
me.
feeding me. You guys have been feeding me, and now you're not feeding me. And then they just they're just angry. They just
Attack.
want food.
Right. They hangry. They
Yeah,
hangry.
literally. Yeah.
That is so funny. It's horrible. Please don't feed the wildlife. Okay, which of these is not a reason why woodpeckers peck wood?
Oh, this is interesting. Maybe it's to scare predators. Because I know, yes, okay, cool. Uh,
Okay. Do
Woodpeckers, I believe some woodpeckers do migrate. I believe
yes, Bria's
there's
on a
some.
freaking roll today.
Okay,
I
cool.
expected nothing less from the bird expert,
Thank
period.
you.
Yes. Yes, I love woodpeckers as well. Like, I don't know. I'm like, maybe because the Woody the Woodpecker
Yeah.
cartoon, they've always interested me, like the way their skulls are shaped and
And the tongue going around their brain.
uh,
Yeah, they're cool. They're really fun.
yeah,
I always get very excited when they show up at my feeder. I'm like, oh my God, a woodpecker.
right. They are listen, the real bird woodpecker, they are not dopey. Okay,
No, they
like the
are smart.
cartoon.
They're
Yes,
very
I
smart.
was like, this when I like started reading about birds and getting more into birds, I'm like, this cartoon is horrible. This is a horrible representation
Exactly. They represented them right.
of the woodpeckers, and the woodpecker delegation said they do not agree with that.
They don't claim Woody the Woodpecker.
No, they don't. Okay, so the woodpecker is any of about 180 species of birds that are not noted for probing for insects in tree bark and for chiseling nest holes in dead wood in the spring. The loud calls of woodpeckers, often augmented by drumming on hollow wood or occasionally on metal, are the sounds of males holding territories. During other seasons, woodpeckers are usually silent. So I never heard them making no noise besides, chiseling at the wood. So
Yeah, the down they make some of them make like crazy like monkey calls, like the flickers and the pileated woodpeckers, and then like downy woodpeck, the smaller ones make like really
yeah.
cute like chirp calls. Um,
Mm,
Also, toucans are in the same family as woodpeckers.
for
So
real. Oh
yeah,
my
so okay, I'm
goodness.
gonna bring in Pokemon for this, but like Picky Peck
Yeah.
and how it eventually evolves into like toucan, and everybody's like, why is a woodpecker turning into a toucan? They're in the same family. When that happened, I
No,
literally geeked out. I was geeking out so hard. I was like, whoever is working at Pokemon, thank you for doing this because this is amazing.
oh wow. You
Yeah.
know what? It always crossed my mind, but then I would just think about something else. And I'm like, but when I was shiny hunting this, why is this a
Why
woodpecker?
is it a toucan now? Yeah.
This okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And I did not know they were in the same. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yes. Come on, Bree. Coming through with the facts.
There
Okay.
you go.
Period. Education. Love it. Which bird has a beard, waddle, and snood?
The turkey.
Turkey, turkey,
Wild
turkey.
turkeys. And I don't think turkeys migrate. Do they migrate?
That
They
is that
do?
your final answer?
I guess they migrate.
Some of them migrate.
That's interesting.
The
Okay,
the
cool.
ones that usually reside in the north
Mhm.
go south. The ones that's in the
Okay, they
south,
have
they
a
say,
shorter migration.
yeah, the
Okay.
ones in the south say we not going nowhere. We where we need to be.
It's hot here anyway, so
Right, we
that's
good. Our
interesting.
cousins
Okay,
up
cool.
north, come down. Come on down. We know y'all get winters up there. Come on down,
Yeah.
okay? The turkey is a native game bird of North America. The fold of flesh that grows from a turkey's throat is called a wattle. The long fleshy ornament that grows from its forehead and hangs over its bill is called a snood. The long tuft of hair that projects from its breast is called a beard.
Yeah.
Okay. Which of these birds can also be called a pigeon?
A dove.
Yes,
And
I
they are
love
migratory as well. So
yes, I love pigeons. That's another that's like the bird that you always see in the inner cities, and they're not like
yes.
scared of people.
Yeah.
So I really do love pigeons, and I have some pigeon doves that leave me their feathers,
No.
and I love it. I have a whole bunch of feathers that they leave me. I feed them and stuff, so they be like, "Here's a gift."
Yeah. A little treat.
Yeah, so I appreciate the pigeon doves. Um, the dove is any of a certain birds of the pigeon family. Child,
Columbidae.
Britannica, y'all need to get Grammarly. Y'all gotta work on these words. So maybe it's because that's how y'all write. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not making sense a little bit. All right, now the names pigeon and dove are often used interchangeably, although dove usually refers to the smaller long-tailed members of the pigeon family. There are exceptions. The domestic pigeon, a rather typical pigeon, is frequently called the rock dove and is the bird portrayed as and called the dove of peace. Okay. I love pigeons, doves. I really loved the good feathers from Animaniacs. Y'all know I'm a
Yeah.
cartoon girl. So, that see, that's the type of, they was a little goofy, but they
They
wasn't
were.
as goofy as Woody the Woodpecker, right?
No.
The good feathers was standing on business.
Yes.
Okay.
They weren't putting anyone to shame.
Right. Exactly. Let's roughly the size of a chicken. Which bird lays the largest egg relative to its size?
Pretty sure it's the kiwi. Yeah.
Child, Brie at it again.
And
The
kiwis don't migrate, and they're in New Zealand, so they're just kind of everywhere in New Zealand, wherever they
yes,
go.
the ostrich lays the largest egg of any bird, but its egg is only about 2% of the mother's weight. A kiwi egg is roughly 20% of the mother's weight. A full-term human baby is about 5% of his mother's weight.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's like an X-ray image of like a kiwi with an egg inside of it, and you're like, how? Like, where are your organs?
Oh, we wanted to look that up after. Okay, we gotta
Yeah.
see that. Oh, now where's your organs? What bird was used by ancient Egyptians for hieroglyphic for red, for the color red or
I'm
for
pretty
red?
sure the flamingo. There's flamingos there. There you
Flamingo.
go. And flamingos migrate.
Yes, they do. A flamingo's bright red color comes from it eating foods enriched carotenoid pigments, which can be found in foods like carrots, but they get it from the algae that the shrimp eat. So they eat the shrimp, and it just
It
makes
makes
them.
them pink and red.
Yes, I love flamingos. That's one of
Me
my
too.
top. It's like in my top three. Yeah, definitely my top three favorite birds. I love flamingos. I just think they're pretty chill. And when I forgot what I saw. It was the documentary of their migration in Africa.
Mhm.
The chicks and stuff.
Oh
That
yeah,
yeah, the migration for them is brutal. Like I was crying. I was like,
yeah.
y'all can do
When they
it.
get like covered in like the muck and everything, and you're like, no, baby, you gotta go. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, like
That
keep
one's very
going.
heart wrenching.
The promised land soon come. Keep pushing. So I love flamingos. Which of these birds is able to turn its head 270 degrees?
The owl,
Oh,
and some owls are migratory.
yes. Along with some other bird species like the red-tailed hawk, owls are able to spin their head three-quarters of the way around their neck. This is useful since owls' eyes are in a fixed position and cannot move like human eyes. So instead, owls have adapted to move their entire head. I like
Mhm.
owls too. Owls are like definitely in my top. They in my top three too.
They're
I,
so cute. Some of them are like super like intense looking, and then you get to see like the really small ones, like the pygmy
mhm,
owls and the saw-whet
mhm.
owls, and you're like, you look just like a stuffed animal, and
Right.
it's ridiculous.
It's crazy the different looks they can give. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
serious, cute, like I just love it. And then me being an insomniac, it's like I just
Real
navigate.
night owl.
Yeah, yes, I navigate towards the owl. And then, honey, y'all know Harry Potter. I was like,
Mhm.
yes, they got an owl. I
We
love
all
it.
love the snowy owls.
Yes, exactly. That's yeah, definitely. So I really love owls too. Look, I just love all the birds.
Yeah.
Which bird has stomach acid more potent
Oh,
than the acid found in car batteries?
the
Mm,
turkey vultures.
we already know.
And they're migratory too.
Hmm.
They actually can smell too. They have a sense of smell, a really good sense of smell. And black vultures will actually follow turkey vultures because
Hmm.
black vultures can't smell as well because they know the turkey vultures will find like the rotting carcasses for them, and then black vultures will like bully the turkey vultures away from the
Oh my
carcasses. Yeah,
goodness. Vulture wars,
yeah.
honey.
There's vulture wars out there.
So the turkey vulture, it's useful for digesting rotting carcasses. The stomach acid of a turkey vulture is 100 times more concentrated than a human's. This allows it to digest organisms that cause
Botulism.
thank you, anthrax, rabies, cholera, hepatitis, polio, without being affected. So they is just immune, honey. That's a different type of bird right there. Just
They
immune.
are nature's trash can, and we need to let them eat the stuff for us because they clean it all up for us. So
Yes.
let the vultures eat their food. Let
Don't
them eat
bother
all of
them.
that.
Yes.
Keeps us safe.
Keep protecting them. Okay.
Mhm.
We need our turkey vultures. Okay. Although native to South America, which of these birds can now be found in the wilds of New York City?
The monk parrot, and there's also monk parrots. It's actually the monk parakeet. So I don't know why they put
Hmm.
parrot. They're also known as Quaker parrots. They're here
Hmm.
in South Florida too. And they build like these giant nests that kind of like destroy power lines because they're huge communal nesters. So they'll have like these
Oh.
giant nests on power lines, and you'll just find like a ton of them within them. And I think some of them are migratory, but like most parrots typically aren't. So
They that's like New York living, honey. New
mhm.
fast pace. I'm hearing New York is expensive. Some people, they roommate up.
Yeah, they're roommating. They're having their families are living within each other. So
Yeah, so fast pace, high living, cost of living, honey. It's too much going on. Look, the
mhm.
birds done said, listen, we New Yorkers now. We
Yeah.
New Yorkers now. Okay. Let's see the answer. Let me see what's the I guess they are because I don't got it on the list that they not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we gonna take the answer from Breeze. Okay, period. The the ocella or eye spots on what bird helped influence the writing of Charles Darwin?
Ah, eye spots on what bird? Oh, a peacock. Yeah.
Yes, I love
Yeah, do
peacocks.
peacocks migrate? I feel like they wouldn't.
Let's see. Do they? No, they don't.
Okay, cool. That makes sense to me.
No, they don't migrate.
We
Oh,
had them here in Florida too because people had them as pets and then they released them.
and the monk parakeets, they don't migrate. They just got here because of the pet tree.
Yeah.
So, all right. So yeah, peacocks don't migrate. I love peacocks.
They're
Peacock's my
funny.
number one bird. Peacock is probably my number one bird.
That's a
Probably.
good bird to have. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely my number one bird. Yeah, for sure, for sure. But I love them. I, appreciate the beautiful display that they always give when we
Yeah.
see them. Yeah, so Darwin was struck by the beauty of a peacock's ocella and
Hypothesized.
hypothesized. I was like say he was hypnotized by the peacock feathers. He hypothesized that there must be evolutionary steps between the magnificent, things of the eye spots of the peacocks and the simpler eye spots or mere colored spots of other birds. So, yeah. So, all right. Now, what we got? Because of their long legs, what bird's young is called a colt?
The crane, and they do migrate.
Mhm.
Sandhill cranes and whooping cranes have really amazing migrations, and yeah, they're so cool.
Yes.
I miss sandhill cranes all the time. I used to hear them when I lived in Florida. I used to hear them all the time. So they're really cool. The babies are very cute. They are called
Mhm.
colts. They're just so they're like a giant chicken nugget. It's so cute.
Not a giant chicken nugget. The whooping crane is North America's tallest bird, standing above 5 feet tall. Its young are called colts, like baby horses. That's interesting. Because I was like,
Mhm.
wait, what? A horse? No, baby
Yeah.
horse? No. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. What last question? What bird lays its eggs in other birds' nests, tricking them into caring for its young?
So it's a cuckoo.
Hmm.
And it's specifically cuckoos. So we have cuckoos in North America, but I'm pretty sure ours don't nest parasitize the same as like cuckoos in like Australia and other
Right.
places. I know our cuckoos migrate, so I'm not sure about other countries. Um, but yeah, in North America, we do have a bird that does nest parasitize, and it's the brown-headed cowbird.
Okay.
Um, and that's because they evolved with buffalo and bison. So they evolved following them because they're wandering. So they didn't have time to take care of their nests. So
Oh,
they would just lay their eggs in other birds' nests because they were following the bison. Um, so they're
not.
just free spirits. They can't be held down,
I was ready to say them birds was rolling stones.
Yeah, they could not be held down. They didn't want a kid to hold them down, but they had to have kids to survive. Then
Right. We have to continue, but
I got to keep going. The bison are
yes, the
moving.
bison,
It's
yeah,
great
they
knowing
moving.
you.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
That's crazy how that goes. Like with that animals, like that's crazy. But the females cuckoos are so adept at mimicry, they can adapt the shade of their eggshells to match those of other birds in their habitat.
That's
How?
crazy. I honestly don't know. That's like a real physiological like question, and
We need
somebody
that
way
research.
smarter than me would know.
We need the research stat. Okay, we got 14 out of 14. Hey, Bree did that.
Hey.
Okay, period. And she got the migratory stuff down. Okay. Yeah. So now we're gonna get into our bird stories and our final wild thoughts after that. Any cool bird stories, Bree?
I feel like every day is a cool bird story. I'm trying
Well,
to
one of
think of
your
one.
favorites.
Um, so let me think. I feel like all my field stories aren't necessarily about birds, but like
Mm.
tragic things that happened to me in the field. Like I worked in the Everglades for a couple months for where I was researching Cape Sable seaside sparrows, which are an endangered subspecies of seaside sparrow that can only be found in the Everglades. And we had to take helicopters to go out there because it was so far out. And it was in May, and it's South Florida in the Everglades, and it had just rained. So it was super wet everywhere, and it was really flooded. And on my way back to like collect my stuff to like get ready to get back on the helicopter, um, I was surrounded by alligators, um, which is like I am very much an advocate that alligators are not scary. They don't want to hurt you. They just
Yeah, I
want to be
agree.
left alone. But when you are 5'2", waist deep in water, and everywhere you step, an alligator is like swimming by. You're just a little bit scared. So
Mhm.
that was like my biggest fear, like moment in the field. So not about birds, but I don't know. I
Okay.
think of like I guess the first time I worked for Archbold Biological Station in 2019, working on Florida grasshopper sparrows, which is the most endangered bird in the continental United States. So
Okay.
we're not talking, because if we want to talk the most endangered birds, we're going to go to Hawaii, obviously. But
Okay.
in the continent, like the 48 states,
Okay.
um, the Florida grasshopper sparrow is like the most endangered bird. Back in like 2019, yeah, there was only like less than 100 individuals left.
Oh, wow.
And I would go out there every morning and would listen to these males sing constantly. And their
Mhm.
song is like this cute little buzz that sounds like a grasshopper, which is what gives them their name. And I just remember those mornings being so wonderful and peaceful, listening to them, watching them, hoping that, I'll see like them like go to a female or something like that.
Right.
I got like super emotionally attached to these birds because we would
Oh,
put color
wow.
bands on them. So
Mhm.
um, we would like have like we would know the individuals because we would look at their color bands. So I'll be like, oh yeah, there's orange yellow. He's still single, but he's singing his little heart out.
That is singing his
And
little heart out.
he's singing his
Oh.
little heart out. He's trying so hard for a girlfriend. I think he got a girlfriend a year later. So like, congrats to him. Um, but yeah, and then I got to like catch them and band them. And I remember banding like my first Florida grasshopper sparrow, and they were just so soft, so tiny, and it was so amazing. Same with like the first time I banded a hummingbird, like holding a
Oh
hummingbird.
my
You have to hold them
gosh.
like a
I would
bird.
be so scared to like
It's
squish them.
very scary because like most of the time most people don't put bands on hummingbirds because their legs are so tiny,
Mhm.
but my first job they taught us how, because they did put bands on them, and you have to like put them on their backs and put like them in a little mesh bag, and when you put them on their
Mm.
backs, like because of where their wings are on their body, they can't move, so they're just like laying there, and you have to gently hold their little legs and really carefully put the band on their legs, and it's just like, oh, it's so scary the whole time, like you can crush this poor little thing. But
Right.
I got to band a few, and then you get to hold them, and they're just so super tiny and cute, and I love
Oh.
them.
Matter of fact, let me get this is a question. Uh if we find a bird, what should we do?
Like you find like an injured bird or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you find an injured bird, the best thing to do is move it away from like an open space. The biggest threat to birds, one of the biggest threats to birds is feral cats. So
Mhm.
you want to make sure that if you don't have like a wildlife rehab around you, which unfortunately is often the case, like the closest wildlife rehab will be like hours away.
Yes.
Most animal hospitals will tell you that they don't take in birds.
You know it.
So the best thing to do is like if you have like a shoebox, fill it with like really warm stuff like towels or like pillow stuffing. Even put it, if the bird, maybe like a little water bowl.
Mhm.
If you have bird seed, you can go ahead and do that. I would not feed them anything else. Like unless you have like certified like bird formulas and stuff like that. Don't feed
Mhm.
bird breads. Please do not feed bird
Please,
bread.
please do not
Please
feed
do not
birds
feed.
bread. Y'all heard the bird expert tell y'all, okay?
It's
Y'all don't
bad.
want
Like
to
I know
listen to
it's
me?
really easy.
Listen to the bird
Yeah,
scientists, okay? Period. Don't feed
it's
a
really
bird
easy to just
bread.
be like, oh, stale bread, here you go. But move the bird into like maybe a bush or something, someplace hidden, someplace shaded. Provide like a little thing of water for them, and sometimes you just gotta let them, hopefully that they'll be able to recover and move forward. But if you do have a wildlife rehab and you could get it in like a shoebox, and like the bird's like really injured,
Mhm.
like bleeding or something like that, if it got attacked, you can go ahead and take it to a wildlife rehab. But for the majority of people, it's always really tempting to want to rehabilitate animals
I
on your
know.
own. We all love it. We see the videos of the
It's
raccoons.
I was ready to say we see the videos online, honey.
Yeah. We see the TikToks of people who have
Uh,
all these cute wild animals as pets that they rehabilitated, please don't. It's bad for the animal because most likely it would not be able to release it. You're gonna ruin your house. They're wild animals, so just do what you can. Get them out of the open. Put them in a nice shaded area. Give them some water, and leave them be. Unfortunately, you gotta let them go on their own.
I've seen a couple of birds, hit the windows.
Yeah.
And then, just let them get themselves together.
Yeah.
And then they be gone. They be ready to fly. Just let them.
Especially if they hit a window, get them into like a nice shaded area with water so that they can, recover. And there are things you can do if you like live in like, if you have like a really big windows, like in your office or something. You could get window clings to put on your windows that will disrupt the image, because the issue with windows is that birds see the reflection of like trees and stuff in the sky and they think that they can keep going, which is not possible. But if you buy like bird certified window clings, some of them are even like really inconspicuous. They're like just a bunch of little dots that you can put down on the window, and they're really hard to see like for the human eye, but they're just enough that it breaks up that image for birds that they'll avoid the windows. Because that during migration, that's one of the things is at my universities, I would, go around and walk around the buildings that had all these like big windows, and you'd find so many dead birds at the bottom. So.
You know what else I hate? I hate seeing, I understand, but I hated the bird spikes. The bird spikes.
I don't like them either.
I hate them. When I go to the mall, I just be looking up when I'm parking in the garage, and I just be seeing all the spikes up I'm like, they still gonna be up there. It don't even matter.
The pigeons don't care. They will literally stand on the spikes. They say they can do this. So.
The pigeons don't care about them spikes, honey.
No.
Yeah, so I hate those. I hate looking at those. I'm like, they don't. You don't even own this.
No. They were here first. So.
They was here, right? They was here first. Okay, you want to put some spikes up? Maybe they should put some spikes up for you. Okay, so this is all them. Y'all colonizers. Okay, y'all trying to tell them that they can't be somewhere when they was here first. Are you crazy? Their ancestors are dinosaurs. Are you crazy?
Exactly.
Literally. Okay, so don't you do it. Don't you do it. But do I have a bird story? Not a migratory bird story, but I did save a cardinal. Like it was like 100 and something degrees out, and I'm just like in my old hoopty, my old Buick LeSabre hoopty, and I'm like driving down the street, and I see this cardinal just like in the road, and I'm like, "Are you gonna move?" He wasn't gonna move, so I stopped my car right in the middle of the street. The guy behind me was looking, but he wasn't like mad or nothing. He just was like more interested in like, what is this?
What is she doing?
What is she ready to do with this bird? Let me see what you ready to do. So I was getting off work at the vet hospital. So I had took my scrub top off. I had a jacket on, and I took it off, and I wrapped the bird up in it, and I gave it some bottled water, because vet tech, honey, I would keep bottled waters in the trunk. I would keep cans of dog food just in case I found a stray dog, which I did, and I had to use pop the trunk. When I say pop the trunk, it's pop the trunk to get this stuff, to get the leash and the stuff to help these animals. Okay.
Yeah.
So like, and I gave it some water and stuff. That's the actual picture that I wanted to put on the thumbnail, but I was like, it's not a migratory bird, so I ain't gonna put it on there, but I got a picture with it. And it just was just in my hands. I was pouring the water in his mouth, and it was like, and I was like,
thank you.
It was like, I'm like, are you okay? I know it's pretty hot out here. And then, it got itself together and it flew away. So
that's good. Yay.
Yes.
See, if you do that, you guys can do that. Make sure to keep water on you on hot days. Not just for yourself, but also if you see an animal.
Exactly. And how can I forget? My mom, her friend was moving or something like that, and she couldn't take her parakeets. the my love for birds didn't come from these parakeets, okay? It came from the book, okay? But my mom was like, "Oh, just give me the parakeets, blue, yellow, called them Tweety and Weedy." Then they passed away. I don't know, these parakeets do not live long. They passed away.
Yeah.
She wanted to get two more birds. She didn't want them to be lonely, so she got two more parakeets, Prince and the Princess. And then she had a third set, Tika and Tahiti. Like, I'm like, "Nah, you gotta stop with these damn birds. Like, you got to stop, okay? It has to
It's a
stop."
little addicting, I think, because
Uh,
my
maybe
grandpa was the same way. He raised parakeets, and it was crazy. He would have so many.
is that why you can't get a bird right now?
No, I can't get a bird because Anthony doesn't want a bird. So there's just that.
Yeah. It's so
We're gonna
funny
put him on
hearing you.
blast right now.
I know. It's so funny hearing you say his real name.
I know, not Pam Pro, it's
I know,
Anthony.
I know, right? But oh yes, congrats on the new house, by the way.
There's gonna
And
be
I
tons of bird feeders. Like, just
okay,
remember that.
okay. And that's what I said. I was like, I wanted a bird, but I was like, no, because I had my cat, and I didn't want to go through what my mom had to go through with our cat Tabby. She used to try to jump on the bird
Oh my
cage.
goodness, yeah.
She would get on the dining room table and be swinging, and some
Oh
of the
God.
oh my goodness, and like literally like Sylvester and Tweety, okay, literally hanging from it
Those
and
two.
swinging, okay. I'm like, girl, did you just slam dunk into the goddamn
The
bird
cage.
cage? Get the hell
Yeah, that's
down.
it.
Sometimes the bird it would break, the birds would be flying around, honey. And not to mention, we got the snake cage on the other side. So we got birds right here. We got snake cage
Snakes
right
over
here.
there.
We got the dogs in the basement, but they mostly spend most of their time outside. The dogs. We got the cats. We got the mice that my mom don't want to feed to the
The
snake
snake.
because it's pregnant. So she don't want to be cruel. So she like, here, take these daggone mice. Like, it was a lot going on, okay?
Yeah.
And so my house was always filled. My house growing up was known for the house that had all the animals and the house that blasted the music. Because my uncle had these big stereos. My father had these big stereo. My stepfather had these big stereos, honey, and we used to blast music, okay? Blast music, and we had the animals, period, okay? So I didn't want to, I was like, I don't want to go through that, but I do love birds. And so that's why I spent all these years just like feeding my birds and stuff. Like, once we bought the
Mhm.
house, like, I went thrifting, I found a bird feeder, put the
Nice.
bird feeder out there, like, and I feed them and stuff. So yeah, lots of bird feeders, lots of
Yeah.
bird feeders.
That's definitely going in the house. We're gonna have a lot of them. That's
Yes,
always been my dream, is just to have a lot of bird feeders. So
yes, and I love like when I'm in a garden and stuff. Sometimes I'll sit and I'll record them talking and stuff, and I'll play it back on a stereo, and they will come to me. I'm a Disney princess. The birds are
I
coming.
love
Yeah.
it.
So they'll come and they'll be talking like, girl, you don't look
What are
like a
you saying?
bird.
Why are you mimicking us? Why are you
Yeah, but
copying me?
you don't look like us. And I'm like, I recorded you
Hey.
guys. I know, right? I recorded you guys. Hi.
Sorry.
I left you guys some food. But guys, also guys, if you feed birds, make sure you guys keep up to date. That's why you can follow me here at the Let's Talk Wild YouTube channel. I'll reporting all of that stuff. Sometimes we have years where we gotta stop feeding the birds or stop giving them water just because a disease outbreak. We had one a couple of years ago, and I was so sad. I would go out and they just would just fly around me like, girl, where the food at? Where the food at? And I'm like,
Where
I
is it?
can't.
Yeah.
We gotta wait. Y'all got a disease that's spreading right now. I can't. Y'all
Yeah.
gotta go out and forage right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But when the is lifted and we can feed them again, is like back to the regular
Back
scheduled
to normal.
program. Yeah, back
Exactly.
to normal. Like we never stopped. They are loyal. Okay.
They're very
Period.
loyal. Yeah.
And I love how when I feed the birds, like they'll know that the cardinals and stuff is around, and they are bullies at my bird
They
feeder.
are. They are so mean. They're just
They
like, this is my feeder now.
them and them blue jays. I don't like the way that blue jays sound. They give me headaches.
The screechy. Yeah.
Yes, the screeching. I can't do it. But the cardinals, they be bullying everybody at the bird feeder, honey. But they'll see me. I'll come outside. They know they see that little red bag with the food in there.
They're
They'll
ready.
start fluttering around. But then they'll just all disappear. And I'm like, oh, it's a cardinal around, huh? And next thing you know, I'll look out the window and they trying to hurry up and eat, and now it's a cardinal there at the daggone thing, just bullying.
Yeah.
They're so mean. Mhm.
They're so mean.
But and I got my Oreo shirt on.
Yay!
This a old school.
That is the old one.
This an old school shirt, honey. This a throwback. This before he got slim and trim. He a little bulky
when he
still.
was
He's a little
triangle
bulky.
shape.
I know, right? Yes. The Baltimore Oreo. I love it. Any final wild thoughts, Bree, on World Migratory Bird Day and birds in general?
Yeah, just make sure to like research your stuff before like you start like feeding birds and things like that. See what's in your area. You can always like Google like birds in my state or birds in my city. It's actually really easy to get into like bird watching and things like that. And when you understand birds, you kind of understand the ecosystem. There's a reason why canary in a coal mine is like a real good like terminology.
Yes.
For birds and ecology. They are literally our canary in the coal mine. If birds are declining, we know that there's something wrong going on in the ecosystem, because that means there's something wrong with their food source or their habitat. So, and if there's something wrong with those things, it's probably happening to other species, amphibians, reptiles, mammals. So understanding birds helps us understand ecosystems as a whole. So doing your part however you can, whether it just be using less plastics, stopping pesticides, donating to organizations that do research, you can do so much. And even just, feeding birds, leaving water out for them during migration, that's a huge big deal too. So there's a lot of little ways you can help the birds, and what you do matters. Everything matters.
Yes. Period. Never think that what you do doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Period. Because you just don't know. You just don't know. You can shape a bird's life.
You can. You can change it forever.
Okay, you sure can. They on a migration. They a little thirsty. They feel like they can't make it. And your water fountain, your bird feeder, it was a glimmer of hope, a pit stop for them on their journey. So I love that. Yeah, be a part of their journey. Yeah, I like that. So we're gonna end with that. Yes. Happy World Migratory Bird Day. Thank you, Bree, for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to throw your socials out there for the people?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I don't use my Twitter as much, but you can follow me at Birds and Bree on Twitter and Instagram. I even have a TikTok on that, and I might be making some content. I am going into the field in like a week and a half, so I'll be doing stuff there. You can also follow Audubon Mid-Atlantic on Facebook and Instagram. I will be writing a field blog, so all my field blog stuff will be posted on there as well. You can look up Marshes for Tomorrow and see what we're doing with that. That will also have my field blog and all that there. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was really great.
Welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate you for coming through. This was awesome. This was like my first time doing this with like a guest. So it's an honor, especially on birds. Like we love birds. So this was just like natural chemistry. And I wouldn't have it any other way with any other person. So I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Make sure y'all follow Bree at all the places that she said. I'm pretty sure I gotta follow Audubon Mid-Atlantic. I know I follow Audubon already. But I'll follow everything. I'll keep you guys updated on all of the bird news and all other animal news and wildlife news here. Make sure you guys subscribe to Let's Talk Wild for more breaking animal news and research. Like the stream and turn on post notifications so you guys can be notified when I go live. Make sure you guys also share the stream. But most importantly, y'all already know, love yourself, one another, your pets, and the animals, especially the birds. Okay. And get out there, feed them, give them some water, do some bird watching, just enjoy nature. And happy Mother's Day. Bye.